time in the green room. What are we talking about, chat?
Earth Day. And how we should celebrate it every day.
Earth
That's
Day
right,
early.
every day.
Can you sing us a song?
Everybody should celebrate the Earth Day every day.
Every day.
If you think about it, it's really the in the green room way.
Only way.
And if you listen to the show, and I really think you should,
Every day. Earth Day every
just
day.
remember to treat the earth as you would
And plant a tree.
a close friend,
And plant a tree.
maybe a loved one.
Plant a tree.
Treat her like somebody you like,
Shop local and drink Pillsbury wine.
and drink Sam Pillsbury wine.
Cheers,
Even
Pillsbury
though that doesn't rhyme.
Pillsbury wine.
Pillsbury wine.
Shop local.
That
Gallery
means
Andrea.
you gotta shop local, and you just gotta get all your stuff.
And please, carpool.
And carpool all you can so the environment doesn't get too rough.
And don't waste water. Only wash your hair once a week.
Maybe wash your hair a little more than that.
My hairdresser says every 5 days.
Well, that's just the way it goes.
Shop at Goodwill. Saving the planet.
One show at a time. Here we are. That was a lot of fun.
I
We
know.
haven't started a show like that before.
That was actually one of my favorites. What do you think?
It was fun.
I liked it. I liked
Yeah?
it. All right, so we are leading the week up to Earth Day. And as you had said before, that's like, as far as this show goes, that's kind of our big day.
Well, I think every day is Earth Day, but for some reason we have one day where we celebrate it and it makes people think about it. And if we can really make people think, hey, it's all the little things you do.
Mm-hmm.
Washing your hair like every 5 days or once a week,
Mm-hmm.
saving water, cleaning the beach, not
Getting a
wasting vintage clothing.
Yes.
Owen, do you want to come over to the mic?
And it really does come down to all of the little things we can do because a lot of the politicians aren't making like big policy changes. So really it comes down to us changing our actions and like supporting the companies who are local and sustainable.
Local.
I like to call it voting with your dollars.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I'm voting with my dollars to support Sam Pillsbury, right? Because
Sam Pillsbury.
he's a local guy. He employs local people. I mean, every dollar you spend with him is going to Arizona.
And his wine
and
is
the
pretty much
Arizona wine market,
organic.
yeah.
Well,
It's
right,
organic.
So
right.
sustainable.
And you know, I love California wines, but you know they got enough money
Yeah,
over there.
exactly.
We need a little more. We need to keep a little more money, and you know, it doesn't have to be shipped as far.
Yeah.
It's grown here local. It's
No pesticides.
well, yeah. He goes beyond organic, right? I mean, that's
Oh,
Beyond
yeah.
organic.
His process is very clean.
Mhm.
Very clean.
and he's been doing it for a while. And so, like, I know probably 10 years ago when I tasted Arizona wines, they tasted a little young. They were good, but you could just tell they were young. Now, this guy competes against Napa. He competes against Sonoma. He competes against.
He wins all the
France,
awards.
He wins
the
awards.
San Francisco
And
Chronicles.
because he's been doing it, what, 18 years now?
He's triple
He
gold.
understands the terroir.
Triple gold. What does that mean?
Triple
That's a big
gold.
deal. San Francisco Chronicles triple
That
gold.
means
That's a big deal.
three golds.
Yeah, and that's the highest
think
award
so.
you can win. It's the highest award. Okay, we need our new intern, Owen over
Oh
here.
yeah, Owen,
Yes,
come on
oh,
over.
come
Even
on
though
over.
he can't
Because-
drink wine yet.
We want to hear how he is. He's almost 21, so very soon.
Very soon.
Like the
But
next
not
month or
until,
something.
because we abide by the law here at
That's
the
right.
green room.
A little closer so you can be in the video.
All right.
Hello, everybody.
A little
All
more,
right.
a little more. Don't be shy.
I'm chilling.
Too shy. Okay, tell us how you are being sustainable as a 19-year-old.
So I go to ASU.
I mean,
and-
21-year-old almost.
Oma.
Yeah, so I go to ASU, and there's a lot of like facilities and clubs and organizations that like really prophesize sustainability and just all that kind of stuff. And they have a lot of recycle programs at ASU. So
Aren't you
Well,
the
it's-
number one sustainable school?
number one in innovation.
Right.
Okay.
That's our
Well, and
statement.
we've had some professors here, I believe, from ASU. What was that gentleman's name that we had on back
Oh
when
my
we were
gosh,
at
I
the
don't
Star
remember.
Worldwide Network? Do you remember his name?
I can look on the
But
Instagram. Oh, we can
Rachel,
look at that.
it was
Let's look
at
Rachel's
football
professor.
coach.
Rachel would know.
There was an ASU football coach.
Oh yes. We did a show about Kush.
Oh, Frank Cush.
Yeah,
oh,
we did
yeah.
a show about Frank
Yes.
Kush. But we can look up on the Instagram the professor that's the number one guy from sustainability who's on.
Yes, I apologize that we're not remembering your name, but that
Probably
was
from
one.
smoking too much Kush.
It could be. That actually could be, Chad. I think you might be right.
There's a correlation.
There is a correlation there, and I'm okay with it. But anyway, it's exciting to think about, like, ASU is my alma mater. I got my bachelor's degree there, and to know that ASU is one of the premier, and so is U of A as far as that is concerned, as far as sustainability and how we're utilizing our water, how we're utilizing solar energy. That's something that I want to see in my universities, and thank goodness we have that here in abundance.
Exactly. Well, Arizona, we have so much sun. We should be using solar.
Yeah, everybody should get on the same page that we should increase our investment in solar panels.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like we should.
Yeah.
And APS is doing some pretty cool innovations. One of the things that they're doing is like how do you store sunlight? So one of the things that they're doing is that during the day they have these solar powered pumps that pump water into a lake that's up high, and at night that lake drains back into a lower lake, and so it's creating this loop. So they're actually storing the energy in the water by moving it to a higher elevation, and then they basically turn it into a hydroelectric dam at night. I mean, that's brilliant.
It really is.
Well, Chet, where you live, you have solar lights in front of your place.
Yeah, but I'm saying we should be pushing the government to invest in solar on a massive scale.
I agree,
Instead of pushing to go to Mars and all this stuff, they should be investing in solar power. They
True.
could probably switch our entire country over to renewable power within 1 decade if it just became their focus. But they just are trying to do too much.
Well,
the government spread too thin.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And right now, as
Solutions,
I think we're
not
going to
problems,
see,
though,
right,
Martin.
I'm going with solutions.
Okay, thank you.
As we see the price of fossil fuels rise, because it's $4.99 a gallon right now. That's
crazy.
California prices, right?
But what can
As
you
we
do?
see
Stay in your
that
bubble.
rise,
Stay in your bubble.
You're
Carpool.
gonna but you're gonna see more and more innovation and more focus on solar, because solar's practically free compared to $4.99 a gallon.
Yeah, and it's
True.
way less dangerous long term than nuclear power plants.
Right.
And so nuclear is almost like a lazy option because it does generate a lot of power, but it's creating a ton of radioactive waste.
If they can figure out fission, which I think they're getting closer and closer to, that'd be one thing. But you're right, the nuclear fusion is not the way to go.
Yeah, it's
And
mind-boggling that they built that Salt River nuclear plant instead of building fields of solar panels out there.
Absolutely.
Because there's no chance of the solar panels melting down and killing all the phoenix.
Right, exactly. It is weird because they're supposed to build one. They're talking about, or they've been talking about building a huge solar energy plant where they take all of these solar panel or mirrors and they focus it on one little spot, and it becomes super hot and create a lot of energy. It had to cost just as much as a nuclear power plant, for crying out loud.
I know, so it's confusing why that's not a bigger priority, and it will be if we all start talking about it more.
And that's what we're doing here. So,
bring
Owen, what do you
awareness,
see
yeah.
happening at ASU? Do you see kids
I
recycling?
see,
What do you
there's
see?
a lot of recycling, clubs and organizations that really like to focus on that. I see solar panels in some parts of it, and there's just a lot of clubs and organizations that focus on sustainability. So.
But are your friends saying, "Hey, let's carpool"? Let's
Oh yeah, me and my friend Nolan, we've been carpooling for a couple weeks, so we're trying to
see
save
because
plans.
you have a big drive there. And
Yeah, because
You got a
some
20-minute
people
drive?
drive 20-30 minutes, so that carpool really saves a lot of gas
Energy and gas.
emissions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, my
Absolutely.
son is now living with me, and you finally got to meet JJ.
JJ,
And
I met
so
JJ.
he and I
He's
have
so great.
carpooled today, so he was able to drop me off at Kinga's house, and
Yes.
we got some work done, and then
He looks identical to you.
he is
just a little bit younger.
yeah,
it's
he's,
incredible. He's a little mini Martin.
he's not mini, but he's
He's not mini, he's
no,
not
he's
mini.
definitely a clone.
A clone.
And,
I mean, he's
but
younger.
anyway, it's-
he's not mini. He's the same size.
Right, but
yeah.
we're sharing a vehicle right now, and it's working out great because if I if I need a ride, he can give me a ride, and so
Love it.
right, and so we're not putting that much more pollution into the environment by doing that.
And any way that you can keep the air clean, the ocean clean, pick up trash, reuse, repurpose. This is a vintage jacket here. That
Try to
is-
leave things better than when you found them.
Yes, and I don't think the reason why I think our show is pretty people. It's popular right now because we don't criticize people. Like, let's say I'm somebody that's like trying to save water. I only wash my hair like every 5 days because it's better for your hair, better for
Right.
the planet,
Right.
saving water.
Yes.
I try to carpool everywhere I go. I mean, I'm really good about that. Do you think?
Yes.
I
I'm
don't
always
shower
carpooling.
for weeks on it.
No, I shower every day. No, I like that he makes fun of me. But, I shower every day, but my shower's quick.
Right.
If you're waiting for me, I can take a 10-minute shower.
Yeah, we called those
I'm not-
Navy showers back in the day because on
Yes.
the ship you only have so much water.
Exactly.
You have so much fresh water, and you don't want to take a shower in salt water, so you have to take what they call a Navy shower. You have to be in and out. You have to save water. Absolutely.
I should have brought the evidence. My monthly bill the last few months has been about $15, $14, $18. So
Your water bill is
My water bill.
$18.
I should have brought it
Holy
and
smokes.
had it. Okay,
Yeah,
you know
should
what?
have that frame.
Next show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring that. I'm gonna bring that. So that's
On the
because I turn the water off when I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm brushing my teeth, and this sounds kind of gross, but I spit my into the trash instead of spitting it down my sink, so it doesn't clog it up and you need more
Yeah?
water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I finish brushing my teeth, and then I keep spitting into the trash can, then I put water in my mouth and flush it out. So I'm saving a lot of water right there where it could just be running and running and running. I don't do that. If I'm shaving my legs, I turn the water off. When I'm putting my conditioner on, I turn the water off. So I'm very frugal with the water
Gotcha.
when I'm taking
Yeah.
a shower.
Very
Owen,
self-conscious
are you
about
taking
it.
long showers?
No, I take pretty short showers.
What about you, Jen?
I will be pretty fast unless I'm shaving. Shaving is the one thing that makes me take a while because every time I try to rush it, I cut myself, and then I'm bleeding now.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
Right.
So if I'm not shaving, then I'm pretty good at going fast.
Well, what about shaving not when you're not in the shower?
Well,
Could we do that?
Well,
yeah,
no,
no, I get out and I go to the sink, and then I leave the sink running, and so it's less water than the shower running.
Oh, okay.
And I need the
Okay.
mirror.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay.
so that's
Okay.
why it takes longer too, though. So.
Oh, that makes sense.
But we're not
Um,
talking thousands of gallons.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then if you have plants that are, more sustainable for your environment,
Mhm.
that's great too. I think grass and planting trees and having more greenery absorbs more toxins, so that's great for the environment.
Well, it also creates so much more shade. I mean, that's what I'm really going
Yes.
for in my yard. Is I want more and more shade. So we're trying to grow some fruit trees. We're trying to grow some larger, local trees that don't take up a lot of water, don't need a lot of water, but grow quickly.
Such as
Like mesquite. We've got a couple mesquite trees growing.
Uh-huh.
We've got a couple palm trees growing.
Palo Verdes.
We do have a couple Palo Verdes, and we're using that to create a canopy over our garden, so our garden can be protected, and we can have a year-round garden rather than it just gets fried in the summer. But if
Yes.
if we create all these huge trees and create a canopy, then we actually are going to create a micro environment that will be very sustainable. We plan on growing grapes, and the peach tree's looking good. So we'll be doing some preserves. We'll be doing some. We might be doing.
Is this
some,
all organic? I hope.
Oh, well, it's beyond organic because I don't use any chemicals.
love it.
Like, to keep ants away, we use cinnamon because
See?
ants hate cinnamon. So, I'm not using any horrible chemicals in my yard. No way. And so, what we get is just amazing. Like, I've just been doing strawberries. I've harvested maybe 3 strawberries. Some of the best strawberries I've ever had in my life.
Where's mine?
Well, I only got 3.
one thing I wanted to circle back to is just how important it is that people try to source what they buy locally.
Yes.
Because it's like rampant. I don't know if you guys heard, but they launched the biggest cargo ship ever, and there was a bunch of environmentalists that were up in arms protesting it because it was using some new it's the dirtiest type of fuel you could possibly burn, and it's the biggest ship of all time. So the number one way we can reduce ships like that being built is if we stop having so many goods shipped from China, from Southeast Asia, and if we start sourcing our stuff locally.
Stop. shopping Amazon. Stop buying things from China.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Shop local USA products.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
It's so
USA.
important. Buy Pillsbury wine.
Buy Pillsbury.
Buy
Cheers.
the one that's from,
Cheers.
New Zealand or from France. Buy the stuff that's from here in Arizona.
Who has great eyesight that can read the back of this bottle? Owen?
I got it.
Okay, Owen.
Well,
tell
I
us
went
about
to
this wine.
the
Who has functioning
farmers
eyes?
market. The farmers market this weekend. There's
Oh,
so many
cheers.
cool things. I bought some local honey.
I love local honey.
Because we, my son and I we've been working on these fun cocktails, so we wanted to make some honey simple syrup. So I went and bought a gallon of honey from this local little bee
So Derek
provider.
Shields has been on the show
Mhm.
about a handful of times.
Yes, his
or
honey
more.
is delicious.
And we love Derek
Yes.
Shields. And shout out to him, he's getting married Saturday. He's
no,
been living with his
really? Oh, that's right.
He's been living in separate homes for like
Mhm.
20 years with his girlfriend. They've been maybe not 20 years, maybe 12 years.
It's
I'm
been
not
a
sure.
while though.
Yeah, a long time, more than 10, more than a decade.
Mhm.
She's been in her home, he's been in his home,
Mhm.
and they've been, loving each other, but then, going, home hopping,
Mhm.
and they're finally combining their homes and getting married this Saturday.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Cheers to our
And-
beekeeper, Derek Shields.
Yeah, and
Ah.
honey is absolutely one thing that you should be getting locally. If you're buying your honey in a grocery store, you are screwing up.
Yeah.
It is so much tastier. It's so much better for you.
And also, it helps you not have as many allergies. because
Absolutely.
why is that? I'm not really
Does
sure.
he also bartend?
He does at
You can
Hillstone.
go,
I just saw
go
him.
get a buzz from him.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
That was from- that was
if
good.
you
That was
if you
good.
get
Same
so
Brisbane.
bees make honey from the pollen and the nectar from trees, so and flowers, and that's what gives you allergies. So what happens is they get all these pollens on their legs, and that gets infused in the honey, and then when you consume the honey, it basically informs your nervous system that that's the pollen that you
It's
get in
acceptable.
the air, right? And that it is acceptable, and so you're just easier.
And then you're not reactive.
Exactly.
It's almost like a natural flu shot.
Right.
Oh,
That's
oh,
really
Absolutely.
what it is.
is it? Okay, so
Oh,
Dominic
it's
here
amazing.
in studio. Our
It's
favorite.
amazing. My allergies are
audio
so much
engineer.
less. I can absolutely tell a difference, especially right
Says
now.
it's like a flu shot.
Right now, my allergies should be over the top because there's things blooming everywhere. I'm fine, but it's because I bought a gallon of local honey.
And
Yeah,
I
I'm
only
fine.
found out that after we had several shows with Derek
Mhm.
Shields. I did not know that it's so important for your immune system
Yep.
to have local
Mhm.
honey. You don't want to get
Now-
that honey that's from a
Mhm.
different country. You want to get it from right here in Arizona.
Absolutely. And a good friend of mine just started a beehive in their yard.
Wow.
And they live about a
Oh.
mile from us.
Okay.
So I'm super excited to see what he does. And there's this really cool contraption that they developed in Australia. It's called a flow hive. And normally you have to disturb the bees in order to collect their honey.
Mhm.
But what this does is it's actually a large, beautiful machine. And you put the bees in there and they make the honey. And then the machine tricks them to think the back of their honeycombs are solid, and so they put the honey in, and then it just moves the back, and the honey flows, and you can literally
Really?
pull the honey out on a spigot. Doesn't bother
So cool.
one little
Really?
bee. They don't have to smoke them or do any of that kind of stuff, and so
That's really cool.
they're getting that for their yard. And then they have tons of gardens, and these guys are like, they have chickens and ducks and all sorts of things. But I mean, talk about sustainable.
Yeah, it sounds super sustainable.
And they're going to have all the local pollens in their yard
I love it.
Mhm.
I love it.
and won't have any allergies. It's
Well,
it's
something that's so
amazing.
important that we have to mention is if you know of a friend or a friend of a friend that has a bee problem, make sure you say to them, don't kill those bees. Because I just had a roofer out to do a little check and, just update my
Mhm.
roof because I had it re-roofed about 3 years ago. I don't
Right.
need anything, but I like to do preventative stuff with all the
Sure.
monsoons coming up. And he discovered I have a hive
Mhm.
underneath some of these tiles.
Mhm.
And so he said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll kill all these bees." And I said, "Oh my goodness, no! I want to save all the bees."
Mhm.
So that's when I called Derek Shields,
And he
and
came and got him.
and he said, "I'm getting married Saturday, but here's a list of besties
Oh,
that can help
good.
you."
So that's
And
right. He
yeah.
mentioned that on the show that he had.
Mhm.
He was
Mhm.
involved in a network of
Yes.
beekeepers
Mhm.
that love to go out and save bees, and then they set them up in a different place, and then they can. They basically form like a partnership with these
It is.
hives. It's
It is.
so interesting.
Because he said he doesn't do the beekeeping for the money. He does it for loving our planet
Mhm.
and saving the planet
Mhm.
and Earth Day, that kind of thing.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about here. And so, he said, if you want to do it a week after my wedding, fine. But if it's an emergency right now, this is a list.
Right.
So, if you know anybody that has a problem with bees, don't let them kill them.
Yeah, and
I
it
would definitely
really
agree with
is important to be sustainable with those decisions. Like some people might be like, "Oh, I'll just call the exterminator; it'll be faster and cheaper or something." But
Mhm.
no, every single hive makes a difference. Like we don't know how close we are to a tipping point, so it's really important for us to, do what we can on an individual level because we've seen that the government's not going to be consistent with making policies to protect these things. So
And we
have
can't
to
live
do-
without bees.
Yeah.
Owen, did you know that?
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
I learned that in school. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so tell us something about bees that you know.
Well, I just
an
support
19-year-old.
local. Like if you're looking for honey, look up somebody online or go to like a local farmer's market where.
Oh, the farmers market. So
Oh,
they'll even let you taste it
yeah.
to see
Free
which one you like the
samples.
best because they have
That's
summer,
incentives.
they've got fall, they've got different orchards, and all those taste different.
Oh yeah.
It's so cool.
It really
I
is.
love it. I
Just
love it.
going out and seeing what's out
Mhm.
there and what you can experience.
Well, what's really interesting is that I don't remember the exact statistic, but it's over 70% of the honey that's in the store isn't honey. It's just sugar water, and that they make
Interesting.
you think is honey because we want more honey than than what's available,
Mhm.
and so they
Fill
actually
it up with gums and
yeah.
Yeah.
So they give us fake honey, so that's why you gotta shop local so you know what you're getting.
Mhm.
well, could we hear another song?
Sure.
Let's hear a song about honey and bees and buzzing it up. As we're getting buzzed on Sam Pillsbury's local wine.
Oh no! Oh goodness.
And we do want to hear from Owen on he has to read the Sam Pillsbury wine
Yeah.
and describe it
Sounds good.
after the song. Do
What
you
am I
want to do a
saying
little
about
mini
honey?
video of this for Instagram?
Honey
Is money,
is money.
honey's money, and it's not funny.
Don't mess around. It's not funny.
We don't think it's funny because it's Earth Day.
It's about to be Earth Day, and we're thinking about the little bee.
Buzz, buzz, bee,
Give me some honey.
because it's not funny. We need to see
Give me
the
some
planet
glee.
in the green room.
Honey.
Honey,
It's
honey,
not
honey.
funny.
See the planet.
Honey.
Is a lot
It's
of
not
money.
funny. And it's a lot of money when it comes to Kinga.
Honey.
I traveled all over this tiny world we call Earth.
And we like it sunny on Earth Day.
I've tried a lot of honey, and I've tried a lot of earth. I see what's happening, and I want it neat.
Gotta keep the terroir clean.
You keep your terroir clean, you'll get some honey that is sweet.
And this Sam Pillsbury wine tastes like honey.
It's not funny. Honey, it's not funny.
Save the planet. Drink Sam Pillsbury wine.
One honey at a time. Cheers
You're amazing.
to that
Cheers.
silliness.
Yes is more fun. This is Martin and
That's right.
Niner.
This is more
Woo! We would like to hear about the wine. Owen.
Okay.
Tell us describe Sam
fun.
Pillsbury's
Yes,
local wine.
describe the wine to
I
us.
love AZ wine.
Monsieur.
I love AZ
So-
local. But this is my favorite wine.
The name of this wine is Barbecue White. And
It's the barbecue white.
But who's the vintner? Who's the
Oh, so
winery?
it's a Pillsbury from the Pillsbury Wine Company.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's called Barbecue White.
Cochise County,
Yes.
Arizona.
Yes. It's an Arizona white wine, and this is the description. We threw together a summer wine, something you can take camping, to the beach, or on a hike.
I can see that.
This is a fun wine to quaff with hot dogs.
Quaff. We know that means it's drinkable.
With
We
hot
learned that from
dogs,
Christina
That
Doretta.
is
Burgers.
that's such a Sam Pillsbury word.
or fish sticks and watermelon.
Fish stick.
It's fruity and easy drinking. So
I think I
cold
taste-
and enjoy.
Fruit and honey.
I definitely taste some honey, but I think that could be subliminal messaging from the song.
I taste honey and money.
Taste like $100 bill.
Chet, what do you taste?
I don't know. I'm still deciding what my review would be.
Because we just hung out, or I just hung out with Laura Bruno at Sanctuary, which is another local place. I want to say, hey, go to Elements, check out that menu is amazing. It's all sustainable, and Laura Bruno is one of my favorite psalms in the whole Arizona Valley.
Well,
and she always, you can give her the budget, and she will find you the most incredible wine. It's
all right.
amazing.
So can I tell a story about sustainability
Yes.
and how
Yes.
Kinga affects lives?
Oh, well, I want to talk about how you affect
No,
lives. And Chet.
This is so. I went out with Kinga and another party. We won't mention the name, but we went out to dinner the other night,
Oh, okay.
and we went to a friend of the show, Richard Betts, had a wine tasting
Okay.
at what was that little wine? What was that little restaurant called?
The Mick.
The Mick. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
So
the
we went
Mick.
to the Mick.
Yes, yes.
And a friend of the show, Richard Betts, is there, and so this place is packed. They fit us in because Kinga, and so we're sitting.
It was sold out. It was sold out.
And so
yeah.
we're sitting at this table, and all of a sudden Kinga disappears, and she's gone for like 30 minutes.
Was I?
You were
Oh,
gone. You were
this is
gone
a
for a
great
while,
story. I
right?
forgot. Yeah.
Well, so what I learned later is that Kinga was in line to try Richard Betts wine, and she had met some folks and we're chit chatting with them.
Yeah.
And
A couple of your age.
they made either the mistake or the great idea of telling Kinga that they didn't care for Arizona wines.
They said
Well-
we don't like Arizona wines, and I said really.
So then it was on. Like
I
Kinga
said-
was on a mission.
Yes, it
and
was.
so
Yes.
she
Your
literally
wine is so shitty that turning like a competition.
But the wine tasting was for a French wine.
Oh yeah, the wine tasting was for a French wine. So this
Yes.
this had nothing to do with the actual wine tasting was there. It was just all about Arizona wine and sustainability.
And this couple looked like a super model couple. I mean,
Oh yeah,
they
they're
were like,
beautiful.
in their-
Both
Should
of
have
them.
said, you don't like it, get the fuck out. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, she could have. However,
Right?
her solution was way more fun than that one. So
Cheers.
she
Just waterboards them with
Listen what
Arizona.
happened.
No.
Listen to the
So
story.
Take it.
so she invited him back to the table, and we literally pulled up a chair, and they sat with us and had dinner with us, and we were drinking Arizona wine at the time, and we were drinking an Arizona Stronghold, and we were drinking a
Sam Pillsbury, the Shiraz.
and they were sold. Then they bought a bottle, and
I said it's on me. Like I want you guys to try
You
these
should
Arizona
said-
wines.
To stop being such wine snobs and just
We
have
did.
a good time.
we
Yeah,
did,
yeah.
and they had an amazing time.
And then they
Tell
said
them to
we
get
love
that
Arizona
praying
wines.
mantis out of their butts.
We might have to have them on for a
They're
relationship
coming on.
episode
Yeah.
because
They're
they
coming
are
on.
just for the
Yeah.
eye candy alone. They were both just
So good
gorgeous.
looking.
Yes,
So good looking.
They were
I
good
think
looking people.
he was like 28. She was like 25. They were very young
yes,
and beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
they were a lot of fun. But
They were so much
But that
fun.
was the thing. It was we one person at a time.
Yes.
We convinced
Thank
them,
you.
and
Cheers.
now they will be drinking some Arizona wine.
And Sam Pillsbury, I got him on the phone and I
oh,
told him what was
that's right. I forgot you.
And it goes to
called
show
them.
you, some people will like form an opinion about something before they even try it.
Mhm.
So,
So
sometimes you have to
true.
work
I think that's a
around
very
that.
important
That's so
point
true.
because you can. It's
That's a good
so
point.
easily to say, "Oh, something has been this way," and wine develops. Like 10 years ago, yeah, the Arizona wines tasted young. Now, 20 years, no, they don't taste young anymore.
Well, it's
They taste
kind of like
amazing.
hearing a rumor not only about a product or a wine or a food or a restaurant or a
or
person.
gossip.
And
you
gossip.
shouldn't- whether-
Don't listen to gossip. Get over
There
here.
you go.
You know, like there's people out there where they're like, "Oh, I don't like that person." I'm like, "Well, he's nice to me.
Right, exactly.
He's nice to me. I don't
Mhm.
care." What do you think about that?
I think it's important to expand your opinion. because someone might not know about an Arizona wine, and they might not know how like delicious it is or sustainable. So just expanding that, it gets it to a wider variety of people. So, and probably like the people that you met last night, they'll probably tell other people, and that'll keep on going. So
Exactly.
it's really important just to expand your opinion on something, and yeah, because that'll spread.
And I love what you're saying, because they were hell-bent on California French and like Italian wines, and Arizona sucks. And I'm like, really? Come on over here.
Come on over
No,
here.
it doesn't.
Probably
And
haven't
they,
even tried it yet.
yeah, they hadn't really.
They hadn't tried it.
They hadn't tried it. They
And
heard gossip.
we had a blast with them. We
Did
laughed
they?
the whole night
Were they
long.
fun?
They were a lot of fun.
They were really fun. What did she do? I can't remember. He did
He
something
was
in
in finance. She was like an ER nurse or
She was in health.
something like
You're
that.
right. An
Yeah, she was-
anesthesiologist doctor.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and she was like 25, and she's a doctor. Like, she looked like a
Yeah, they
supermodel.
both could have
Like,
been models.
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
kind of looked a little bit like you, and they were just a
Yeah,
power
he had
couple.
that
yeah.
chiseled look, kind of like you.
Yeah, he did. Tall.
Yeah,
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 and
for sure.
like Owen and you, very good looking.
No, not me, but
Like,
I,
yeah, very good looking.
He looked like everyone in this room. Therefore, making it
Just,
seem like he looks like actually no one.
But
in
what
this
was
room.
so, but what was so
If you
funny?
put us all on
Confusing
Chat
statement, just
GPT,
don't
that's
think
what you
about
come
the
up
words.
with.
But
Just
what was
shut
so
your brain
funny
off
is I'm
while
in
we
this
talk.
long line to taste these wines, and Richard, because Richard knows me and he's busy, and he's just kind of like, I don't have time for
you.
For you right
now.
And so I'm like standing there, and I start talking to these people, and then I'm talking, making conversation. Arizona wines. They're there to taste the French wines.
Right.
But I'm like, we're in Arizona. And, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to stand here in this line and be dismissed. I'm just going to go sit down. But then I convinced this couple about Arizona wines
That's true.
and brought them from that line to our table.
Now, to
and
be
then
fair,
the French people came
That's
over
what
to
I
us.
was just going to say.
You got to tell that.
To be fair, after everything was slowing down,
Yes.
the French guys were at the table with us trying the Arizona wine.
They sat down with us, and they-
they hung out with us for like an hour. It was with all
And
of us.
his
It was
wine's
so much
great.
fun, and it was that story of sharing, and
Yes.
and local doesn't mean necessarily that it has to be grown here. Local, I think, is also it's the person, it's the people that
Yes.
if
A
they're
small
if they're
bit,
here
yes.
investing in Arizona,
Yes.
that has a local feel to me.
And that was Vincent Martineau Boyer. Wait, Vincent Martineau Boyer wines.
Right.
Boyer Vincent Martineau.
They
Boyer
were
Vincent
lovely,
Martineau.
and we had a
He was
ball.
Vincent was amazing. So he's four
Yes.
generations from
Mhm.
Paris
Yep.
or from France. Maybe is it Provence?
And wasn't he like a 10th generation winemaker or some ridiculous
I think it's
thing?
4th generation.
Was it 4? I thought it was
Mhm.
more than that,
It
but
could have been.
it was a lot.
It was a lot, and he ended up coming to us because he thought our table was so interesting and we were having so much fun.
Mhm.
And then he ended up sitting with us, and instead of being standing in this long line, being dismissed, I'm like, I'm going to come over here and have fun and
Oh,
convince
yeah,
these
we
people to
got-
drink Arizona wines.
Absolutely. Well, and then he came, and then he brought his wines over, and we
Yes.
got to try kind of compare and contrast.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a beautiful conversation.
It was an
and,
amazing night.
and
I'll post those pictures, actually, by the way.
oh, you have pictures of that?
I do!
Oh, nice.
I'll post pictures of
All
that.
right.
And we exchanged numbers, and when he's back in town, he's going to come on the show.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun.
Mhm. Yes. we'll
But
have to
but
do that.
here's a gentleman who's from France, who's worldly, that is here investing in Arizona, investing in a local restaurant, and so I see a lot of value in that as well.
I do too.
I don't want to just limit us.
Well, and also his winery in France is sustainable. They don't use any
Mhm.
pesticides. It's very local. It's not a big commercial, operation. It's a nice.
It's a family.
Yeah, family
They do
owned.
what 100 cases or less.
It's a very small boutique wine.
Yeah, it's very small boutique wine, and it was tasty.
It was
It
amazing.
was pretty tasty,
It was
especially
amazing.
with that food at the Mick. What did we have? There was we had a sea bass, and we had some spicy meatballs.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I'm trying to think-
I'm hungry. I'm getting hungry right now.
And the owners of the Mick, what a small world, because one of the partners of the Mick, John Krause,
Mhm.
was a tenant in one of your dad's buildings. And he,
Buildings.
That's a
and-
small world.
no,
And what is buildings?
did I say buildings?
Buildings.
Building. He I'm not buzzed at all, but I
No, I
say it
love-
wrong. But anyway, so he was knows your dad,
Yeah.
and he was a tenant, and he just it's pretty cool. He's got this operation.
Well, it
Mick,
just
and
shows
it's
what a
pretty cool.
small world it is.
It is a small world.
One thing we should push everyone who's listening to do, either go outside for 30 minutes and pick up some trash
I love that.
or donate like $5 to $10 to a charity because
Or both.
well, yeah,
Or
both.
all.
Well, I think it's smart to push people to do one or the other. Like either, donate $10 to a charity that's helping save the planet or helping improve people's lives. Because, like, yeah, it's great to donate to some charity that's helping clean up the oceans, but it's just as beneficial to donate to a charity that's helping single moms that have been victims of abuse or something. Because if you help get that family on their feet, and then the trickle down effect of positive benefits that are going to happen from that are going to be huge.
Absolutely.
Maybe one of her kids are going to grow up to be a scientist that might help save the world one day. So
Well, and it's local charities, right? It's
Exactly.
There's I've got the benefit of working with a lot of local charities through some of the nonprofit boards that I've been on, and there are some amazing people out there doing amazing work on a shoestring budget. Like we did a fundraiser for a group that bought toys and clothes for foster children that were taken out of terrible situations and with nothing but the clothes on their back. And so we supported this group that bought them toys and clothes and a suitcase so they would have something, and we raised like $25,000, and that was equal to their entire year's budget, and we raised that in one night.
And that's incredible. But I want to shout out to people to say that you should always start with your own family that might need some help.
Fair.
Number
Yes.
one. Number two, your friends that might need some help.
Mhm.
Because that's also, I mean, if you have friends or family that need, or family or friends that need help.
that's true, but it is
Go
important to
that.
donate to the big causes too. So
Yes,
try
yes.
to do both.
But
Just
try to
start.
do it all.
Just start, because once you
Yes.
start,
Do
you'll-
something.
Yeah.
Yes, just
Just
start.
like Chet was saying, go pick up some trash. Go donate $10. It's not like
Clean up the
Well, I
ocean.
just know there might be somebody that's listening that's like, oh, donate $10. My money's too tight. I can't do that right now. It's like, okay, well then you can still go donate
Yes.
some time. You can go down
Yes.
to the St. Vincent de Paul and help cook the food for the homeless people. You can go to a hiking trail and help clean up some trash.
it is
There's ways to
so
donate beyond the money.
much fun
Yeah.
to go to those kitchens and help in the back.
Oh, yes.
we should do that here soon.
Is
Is go and do one of those.
I do
things.
so much for 3 different charities, but I haven't been doing feeding the homeless or the poor.
Right.
Let's do that.
All right.
Let's do that. It does
That'll be
make
our
me
next-
feel so good.
It does, and it's
You-
it's
you-
just fun.
Let's do the 4 of us.
Mhm.
That's our
I agree.
okay. Owen, you have to book that.
All right.
Okay,
We'll make that happen.
that's our next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Right.
there's no excuse nowadays. If you're like, oh, my finances are really too tight for me to budget out $10. Well, if you have a car, you can still go out and drive on Uber for 1 hour and raise $50. Like,
Mhm.
so
Right.
Yeah,
with
there's always
technology
something.
nowadays, there's so many ways to make money. There's really no excuse that you can't set aside $10 for a charity, once a year.
Well, I
Well,
know
I-
Chet had a music event recently, and you gave a lot to charity.
Yeah, we raised $300 for Ryan House.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
That's really cool.
But
It is pretty cool.
I wonder if
Do you Chet
is
music?
money more important to those charities or is time? Like, because
That's a good question.
volunteering. Because I've had so much fun volunteering over the years at different charity events, and
And what almost all of them say is that a contribution is a contribution, and they really don't care one or the other. Just if you're helping, that's what
your help
matters.
is- there you go.
That's
And that's
so
why it's like kind of adjustable for each person's schedule. Like somebody like me who's super busy and I barely can get a free hour,
Mhm.
makes more sense for me to donate some money.
Sure.
But somebody who has a lot more time on their hands but is tighter on funds, then donate 2 hours of your time. So there are ways to adjust your schedule to work with what your resources are.
When my divorce started, the way that I would feel better, because it was really kind of you're upset when you're going through a divorce.
Sure.
I would go donate my time to Crisis Nursery, and I would actually go to the nursery and play with the kids would all come running up to me, and we'd just do all these activities and crafts and painting, and it would just you would leave there thinking I have no problem.
You did a lot of work with Child Help as well, didn't
Yeah,
you?
Child Help, Crisis
Yeah.
Nursery, and House Cooper Solid Rock. So
Right.
those are my 3 big ones that I like to do. And then Ryan House. Is it Ryan's house or Ryan House?
Ryan House.
Ryan
Ryan
House, yeah.
House.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, and there's certain things that you can, like you were saying, if you've got the money, donate. It'll make you feel good.
Mhm.
if you don't have the money, donate your time. There's so many organizations out there that just need warm bodies to help them in what they're doing. To, like you were doing, hold little babies.
Yeah.
Serve food, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It makes you feel good.
I just remember at Christmas time, we would bring a tree and decorate the tree, and the kids would get so excited for Crisis Nursery. It's really amazing. Yeah.
And yeah, while we advocate for people enjoying wine and, you know,
Sam Pillsbury wine.
exactly, enjoying
Local
local
Arizona.
wine specifically, it's important that people make the right choices and drink in a sustainable way too. Like, I have this one friend that, you know, I got in I'm really not friends with them anymore, but I got in a big argument with them.
Why talk about
because
that?
it's an interesting conversation.
Okay.
But they were not Ubering home, and they tried to claim it's because of money. I was like, well, if you don't have the money to Uber home, then you shouldn't be spending $50 at the bar on these drinks in the first place. And furthermore, obviously that person wasn't, you know, donating to the right charities and stuff. So those are the things that should happen and be the priority before drinking. Obviously, once you've donated to charity and you've had a productive day, then it's nice to treat yourself to a glass of wine to reward yourself.
Sure.
So
Good
it's really
point. That's a
important to
good
have
point.
your priorities straight.
I like
And
that.
yeah,
That's a good point.
yeah. And so if you don't have the money to donate to charity and help people, then you shouldn't have the money to drink. If you don't have the money to Uber home, then you probably don't have the money to drink either. So
That's
it's
true.
just it's just an important thing to reiterate, because we
That's
do
true.
drink a lot here in the green room, but we like to make sure that we recommend people do it responsibly
I love that.
I think
That's right.
and in a
That's right.
sustainable way.
In a
Yeah.
sustainable way.
And
'Cause-
none of us are drinking and driving.
Oh yeah, well I
Owen
Ubered
is
here.
our-
We literally started late because I Ubered here. So.
And Owen drove us.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I think that's a very good point, because I think a lot of people forget that, and we've all seen the accidents, you know, driving by, and
That's right.
none of us want any of that. And
Yeah.
that's right.
that's not a sustainable way to live.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
another-
that's why it's an important thing to bring up, because it is a realistic
It is.
downside that some people forget their priorities and don't drink responsibility. So we're here recommending that you do, and treat yourself to some wine after you've done all the good things and productive things that we should do.
I love that.
So,
Yeah.
That is really, really great recommendations.
I like
yes.
it.
Here, saving the planet.
One
show at a time. And
With Sam
like,
Pillsbury wine.
well, and like how
Woo!
no days off is our motto, like no days off from working out, no days off from, you know, being productive, no days off from enjoying your time and loving life. You should also have no days off from taking care of the earth and trying to make the earth a better
I
place.
love that.
Whether that's through, you know, charity work, whether that's through, you know, making the people around you feel loved. There are so many different
Supporting
ways
local.
you can impact the people around you and make the world a better place.
Not wasting water, not
Yeah.
wasting food.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to a restaurant, it's like start off with sharing, because I'm not going to name call people, but I know some people that just like way over order, and then they take that stuff home, and then some people don't eat it. Now I know some people that will eat it all, but they're also trying to lose weight.
I
Why are you
love
overeating it?
leftovers.
Oh, yeah.
I love leftovers.
Well, so if you're eating the leftovers, great.
But I see it as being sustainable, right? I like if I over order something, I kind of do it on purpose, because I know that it's going to taste delicious the next day.
But you're going to eat it. You're not going to waste it.
Oh God, no.
Okay, thank
Oh
you.
heck no. I'm not gonna.
We all know
waste
those
food.
people that have their fridges filled
Oh yeah.
with leftovers and they don't even eat it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
No,
I
that's
over
not.
ordered and now I'm wasting food because I'm not really going to eat this. I'm just going to take it home and it's just going to sit
Now
in the fridge and rot.
I might have been more that way and leaned that way in my 20s
Mm-hmm.
and probably my 30s, but as I've grown older, and now I eat less, and I want amazing food. So if I go to an amazing restaurant, and it's going to be amazing the next day too.
Of course,
right?
of course. But you're going to make sure you're going to stay home and eat that.
Oh heck yeah.
That's sustainable.
Yeah.
That's sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over
I'm not gonna waste
ordering,
that.
not taking it home, or
Or I'm
taking
going
home
to
and not
freeze
eating
it till later. Like I'm not, and I think my grandmother really taught me that. You know, she was born and raised in the Depression. She saved,
Oh yeah.
sugar. She saved aluminum foil and reused aluminum foil. I mean, she was very,
Sustainable.
very sustainable. And I absolutely learned that.
So
from
was my
her.
grandma. So was my
And
grandma.
I see myself now, recycling aluminum foil, which you don't think is a big deal, but man, to
That stuff is
look at
expensive.
how if you think about how much it took to dig that out of the ground, then process it and then make it
Yes.
into aluminum foil, it's a lot.
And that's why it's expensive, and that's why you should reuse it.
Right.
Now, when I take a paper towel and I dry my hands, like I just soaked my hands, my hands are sparkling clean, and I dried my hand with that paper towel. Why would you not lay it on this wine bottle and let it dry out and reuse it?
Mhm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Or just use
I
kitchen
reuse my
towels.
toilet paper. I stop at paper towels.
See, we discovered this
Funny.
amazing thing called a bidet
Oh yeah.
in the pandemic. You know, when there was a lack of toilet paper, we got bidets. They're amazing.
okay, so Dominic says we have 10 minutes.
So 10 minutes.
I'm going to segue out of the bidet.
Please, get me out of this hole.
Get me out of the toilet.
Chet started it.
So, question: when you buy organic fruit and it says it's triple washed, do we have to rewash that?
Yeah, I still wash it, but
I don't.
Because it goes through like shipping and handling, and I mean it's not a bad thing to wash it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should wash it one more time. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start doing that. I haven't been doing that. So if we can not use any pesticides and eat more organically, it's more expensive, but that is helping the planet. Because the more we say no to, we're not going to eat that toxic stuff. We're helping the
and
planet.
organic pesticides are expensive. I mean,
You mean the organic fruit?
no.
Vegetables.
The organic pesticides, if they
Oh, that's
decide
right.
to use them, are expensive too. So
Oh,
if they're
okay.
not using the organic pesticides, they're saving money.
Oh, okay. So you're saying if they do it the bad way, they're saving money.
No, if they do it the bad way, they're spending too much money because you can buy, if you want to get rid of aphids, you can buy ladybugs, and let the ladybugs go. You don't have to put any chemicals on. If you can buy, there's aphids. You can buy praying mantises. I mean, and hatch the eggs and use them a natural way to get rid of all the pests and all the things that affect the crop. So there's so many cheaper ways to do it, but it's like you have to think about how they did it in the old days, like the
So how do you get rid of scorpions? Let's say nobody here has a scorpion problem, but let's say someone did. How do you get rid of scorpions? Because
Scorpions?
he was in the chemical business,
so
environmental chemical.
you squish them.
yeah. So the scorpions, you have to find things that eat scorpions, like mice eat scorpions, snakes
Birds.
eat scorpions.
Thank you very much.
You have to
What else?
have other animals.
I was
that-
hearing cats, but I don't really
cats
want to get an
are-
outdoor cat. Though.
Yeah, no, cats are a little too persnickety. Like their stomachs are a little too sensitive. So
Well, I heard they just love to kill scorpions
do.
because they're such
They do.
alpha predators. They try to kill anything that's in their territory.
Then that's great.
Yeah.
but I look at it like what's going to eat that scorpion, and go after the
that's a good way.
babies and get derives nutrients and nourishment from that. And that's more like the little desert rats, the kangaroo rat. There's some.
But like,
We
let's
probably
say,
don't
let's
want
say-
rats to
Let's
solve
say
the
somebody.
scorpion.
Let's say
Yeah,
somebody has a
okay.
scorpion problem.
Well,
They're not going to get
extra
rats. They'd rather right.
I will have a kangaroo rat in my yard over
then
a
have a
scorpion
cat
any
as
day any day of the week. They're cute.
What's a kid?
And you have to have like a cat as well to like beat in.
But
the
they might
process,
eat the
yeah.
kangaroo rat, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
I don't know.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm team
You
cat
don't
over
want-
rat.
I'm team cat. I'm team cat over rat. An outdoor cat. How do
The
you
rat
keep a
eats the
cat
scorpion
being an
and then
outdoor
the cat
cat?
eats the mice. Yeah. It's like a cycle.
Well, we have several outdoor cats.
Okay. How do you keep them from going inside?
You don't let them
we
inside?
Don't open the door for them.
What the
As they
hell?
walk
Like,
down the alley, I wave to them.
like how
Hey,
none of the
outdoor
other
cat, how
cats
you
go
doing, buddy?
inside, yeah.
And maybe if it's super hot, I'll put some water out for them. But there's so many videos out there of people putting like trackers on their cats, and their cats have 4 or 5 mile ranges that they go, and they can track where they stop at the people's houses and get snacks like the whole way around. Like cats are no dummies, man. They got it figured out.
Well,
If they're trying to mooch you for some food or water, they know what they're doing.
But they are great natural pest control compared
They
to
are.
getting pesticides
Yeah.
sprayed and all that kind of stuff because
That's
they
true.
kill all types of bugs, all types of rodents.
Mhm.
So yeah, cats are not only very cute, but
so I don't know
amazing.
anybody that has a scorpion problem, but if you do, get a cat.
well, we had one when we first
because
moved
that's
in.
more sustainable.
We absolutely did, but we have tons of birds, and we have had a few outdoor rats that have taken care of the
Oh my
problem.
God. Okay, I'm laughing because Chet knows as he was a kid, I'm not going to say their name, there was this family that had a pet rat. and we go over there and they take it out at dinner time and like put it on their neck, and
Oh,
I was so
that's-
grossed out. Do you remember that? Don't say
Kind
their
of,
names.
Yeah.
I'll just say the
Pat-
daughter's name, Cecilia.
They would pull out a pet rat at dinner.
Serena. Yeah, they had a pet rat and they had it on a leash, and they.
So this was Serena Williams, the tennis
Oh.
player. You heard it here first, folks.
No, it was not Serena Williams. But the daughter's name was Serena, and they're really good. Nobody will listen to this and know. But I love that family, and they're amazing.
But
And
they
it's
had
cute
a-
that they
had
let.
a-
They
had
just
a
have
rat for
hideous
dinner.
pets and horrible taste.
Oh my goodness.
So how many minutes do we have left?
We got like 5.
I love her like, I won't call them out by name, but this is their name. What the fuck?
At least their first name.
That's still saying their fucking name.
That's
You
not their names. That's
don't
not-
understand the concept of keeping a secret, but you don't fucking say their name.
That's not their names. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, thank you. So we only have 5 minutes, so we each get a minute
Okay.
to talk about what. This is Earth Day early.
Right.
This is in the green room. Earth Day
Mhm.
early. We've got deep chatty music. We've got Yes Is More Fun. We've got Owen, what's yours?
Just Owen Johansson.
Owen Johansson. And we're all talking in the green room. Green, what we can do before Earth Day.
All right.
And I'm going to say my advice for myself would be to make sure that I make people aware that every day is Earth Day.
Mhm.
That's mine. That's
I
mine.
like it.
That's mine. Go ahead, Chet.
I would say a lot of people say go vegan, but if you love meat as much as I do, then that's not really an option. So what you should actually try to do is source your meat from sustainable farms that, you know, have humane farming practices, and
No
it,
hormones.
well, it makes a massive difference for the quality of life for the animal that you're consuming, whether it's like, you know, grass-fed beef so that they're actually out in pastures living a normal cow life, mooing and, you know, doing normal cow shit.
Yeah, happy cows.
Yeah,
Happy,
it's way
happy.
better than
Spreading
if they're
love.
just sitting in the dark in like a little box.
Yeah.
And so it's really important. You can be way more sustainable if you eat meat from better sources. And yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's it's also more nutrient dense. They're finding that
Yeah.
these grass-fed organic cows and chickens and other sources of meat, if they're raised in those good conditions, they have way higher nutrient density.
Oh, it's
You're
it's
way
Food's
better off.
health.
so much
Yeah, you're way
different.
better off eating
Yes.
a half a pound of grass-fed filet
Yes.
than eating a full pound of non-organic.
Yeah,
just
absolutely. There
random.
is the difference
steak.
between an organic chicken and regular raised chicken is unreal. There's
Yeah, and the
so
quality
much-
of life for that
Yes.
chicken
Yes.
is way better.
So this will be another show.
Yes.
But have you heard of the lab-grown meat?
Ugh.
Oh,
Oh,
very
gosh.
gross.
No,
It is
another
kinda
show.
gross.
That's another
All right,
show.
another show.
So Martin,
All right,
your
so-
point is amazing, because if your health is wealth,
Mhm.
and your health is Earth Day,
Yep.
and eating is Earth Day,
Mhm.
and if you're aware of what you're eating, you're saving money because you're not spending money on medicine for being sick.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
go on your tip and your tip.
All right, so I'm going to be
3 minutes.
Gardening
Okay.
and continuing to get my 3 strawberries and hopefully more than that. I'm going to continue to try to capture water so I'm not wasting water. And I'm going to continue preaching Earth Day every day in
Thank
the
you.
green room.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Yes, it's more fun.
So mine would probably be support your local farmers market, because
Yes.
that's where most of the like local produce is and where the farms in our areas are, and you know they need support. So just going out and you know supporting them is really big. And as well, solar panels, that's a big thing. I agree
Yes.
with what Che was saying at the beginning, just increasing that knowledge to people, because in the end it's honestly is cheaper than just regular electricity. So
And don't
it's
kill bees.
Yeah,
Don't
and
kill
don't
bees.
kill bees.
Don't kill bees.
And it's more sustainable. So yeah.
And only wash your hair every other day or once a week.
Yes.
All right.
Clean the beaches.
Just can go though.
In the green room. Green. Yes,
Saving the
it's more
planet.
fun.
One show at a time.
time.
One show at a
One
time.
show.